Hey, how's it friends? Kane Schlenker here. In this video, we're going to talk about how to create a set of sequenced assignments. And in Schoology, this is called the student completion option. And the idea here is that if you have a set of assignments or practice work that you want students to complete, you could put that in a specific order. So there is a progression there. So if you want students to say write a conclusion for an essay, you have certain steps in their progress to get to that final objective. So you can set that up so they have to go through and kind of flow through the steps. And we'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, so when you launch your Schoology page, right, this will be your launch page. Then I'm going to go into courses. I'm going to select the course that I would like to create my sequenced folder. In here, this is what the students would open up to on my course page, right? The updates page. I go into materials. Materials, I have my 3 folders: lessons and assignments, share space, syllabus, and class expectations. So I'm going to go ahead and click into lessons and assignments here. And I'm going to click right into my September 14th through 18th topic, writing a conclusion. All right, this is on the top here is my kind of initial video that I created, the kind of the initial lesson, mini lesson about writing a good conclusion. And then I'm going to go into this additional resources and practice assignments. So anytime you're going to use this student completion option, it has to be within a folder. Okay, now within this practice, additional resources, practice assignments folder, I have an argumentative essay outline. I have a discussion board about writing a conclusion. I have a shared space conclusion and imagery, little art infusion. And then I have their final writing conclusion submission space. Now, as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, you know, I could probably use like an additional video for them to watch that isn't me in the mini lesson. That might be something else, maybe a quick kind of fun visual video about writing a good conclusion. And so what I've done is I've gone right into YouTube, and you know, obviously you don't want to invent the wheel on everything. And I've just searched up writing a good conclusion, and a ton of videos came up, and I kind of scrolled through. I liked this one, and I said, okay, learn to write a conclusion under 5 minutes. I watched this; it sounded pretty good. It matched up with what I was trying to accomplish for my own students and for what I wanted them to kind of think about in the parts of writing conclusion. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this share button, and I'm going to copy this URL. Now, one good option here is you can always click on this like start app button, and then so if there's some stuff in the beginning of the video that you don't need, you can set it up so it just starts where you want it to start. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click add materials here because I'm thinking I want them to watch this video before they get into any of the other stuff. So I'm going to add file link external tool. This will be a link. I'm going to paste it in here. I'd written that in before, so that's why it comes right up, but you could type right in the title or wherever you want to title that. This would be my individual assignment. I want the whole class to watch this one. This is my display in Schoology, so they won't have to go to YouTube. It'll actually just display right in the window, which is kind of nice, so they don't get distracted by all that fun YouTube stuff. And this is just that it obviously that it shows up and it's published. So you can unpublish it so that it's there, but the kids can't see it yet. In this case, I want it to be published. So I'm going to add this in. Okay, so now it shows up here at the bottom. So if I want that at the top, all I have to do is click and drag that up to the top. I'm going to pop that in there. Now, okay, so this is what I like. You know, I like this kind of progression for in all of these additional resources that I have within here. And so now I'm going to go ahead and pick this options. I'm going to click on student completion. Now, in this option section which is nice, is also you can individually assign a folder to certain students or certain groups of students, which is a cool option. For the sake of this video, we're going to talk about the student completion option. So I'm going to click right on that. Now, this is great. So you can click here at the top to have all of these requirements in this folder have to be done in this sequential order, right? So you want them to move in that specific order. Now, sometimes you might not, and you want to let the student pick which assignments or practice things that they want to do in a specific order, and that's fine. You don't have to click this. But they still will need to complete everything within the folder. So that's where the difference is with checking this box. So I'm going to check that box because I want them to do this in sequential order, and then I can add requirements. So this is cool, right? So for the first requirement, this is that writing to conclusion video. So I want to click on, and I can click down this, and they can pick any of the assignments that I have in this folder. And so I'm going to say member must, I'm going to make in the rule here, view the item. So I want them to watch that video before they go on to the next assignment, which is to look at that outline and start the outline. Bam. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say that they need to at least view the item. Now, what's interesting here about this stuff is that depending on the type of assignment that it is, the requirement or rule will change, right? Because this is a link, the best they can do is view the item. Because this is a file, the best they can do is view the item. But now if I click on the next one, and I'm moving down here where I want them to do the discussion board, right? You can know it's a discussion board because it has this little icon here. And I want them to do more than just view the discussion board, but I want them to post and comment and reply to the discussion board. I'm going to click on that. So that's what they need to do for that. Then I move on to the conclusion and imagery board that I posted. And for this, I want them to at least view that. That's the only option for that one. And finally, they will need to submit, right? And I know that this is an assignment specifically that requires them to submit, and that's what that icon stands for. So I know it's that one. And you might want to label these different. I just noticed that I wrote writing conclusion for 3, so it's maybe a little bit confusing, but the icons obviously help with that. So a member must, and so this is cool too. You can have view the item, but I want them to make a submission, or you can even put score at least, right? So if all you want them to do is make a submission, and so that you can give them feedback or whatever the case may be, that's a great option. If you want them to score at least, this is pretty cool. You can put a score right in here, and the student will have to continue to try to get that score before they can move on and get that big check mark for that folder. And you could put a specific score in there. Okay, so in this case, I might just want to say make a submission because this might be just the rough draft of the writing the conclusion. And I just want to see that they've submitted something that I can read it and give them feedback on it. Okay, so then I go ahead and hit save changes. And it'll appear like this, right? So you'll see that underneath the assignment, it says what the student must do for each of them. And that's how would it appear for the student as well. Okay, and I know that I'm using the student progress, and I can see, there's a very cool option too, I can see based on the student how far or how much they've completed of that student completion of that folder, and that's a nice way for me to track that. Okay, and so that is using the student progress, the student completion option in Schoology to set up your folder in a specific sequential order. I also threw in there, how to add a video in for the students to view before you get started or at some point, and know that they've at least viewed the assignment or the reviewed the video before they have gone on to do the practice assignments that are connected to that video. Okay, thank you so much. Hope you're having a great day.